just overlook me. Yeah, if things don't pan out, keep it cooking. You're not a fan, but you keep on looking. Look, don't be concerned with what people saying. Be concerned when they don't care to say it. Funny how people will act like they know you, but they don't even got a clue what they're saying.
Yeehaw, soldiers. It's your boy Name Sage coming at you with another video. And this is essentially advice with Sage. So, yeah. So for this one, it's more so financial advice. Oh man, oh no, it's financial advice. I hear you guys saying it's financial advice. No, it's gonna be so boring. I think it can make you guys entertain about it a little bit, but I think you guys need to really kind of hear about this because it's kind of important. It's because I see way too many people make very dumb financial decisions, and I'm like, why? Like, why? Example: OnlyFans, toilet paper, and other stuff in between. Let's begin. Before I start, follow me on Twitter at MSH4. Twitter, Instagram is anime_stage4. And my Discord server will be linked down in the description. So, yeah. Alright, let's get right into this. Alright, so I guess the first point would have to be don't live above your means. I see a lot of people with like jobs and stuff like that. And this is to address some of you college guys and stuff like that. And maybe like late high schoolers. You guys need to like not live above your means. Let's make an example. You are making $3,000 a year. Why would you want to buy a $15,000 car, which is essentially taking away half your income, especially with down payments, and you get into car debt? You wouldn't necessarily want to take that, right? And like, let's say that could increase over time. Let's say a $25,000 car. That is essentially like leaving you with $5,000, which I don't know if is going to necessarily like pay all your bills, if you know what I'm saying. So that's essentially what I'm talking about. You can't necessarily want to live above your meat, make investments that are going to take away like half your income. And new cars are probably some of the worst investments you can make because like they lose value over time. If you sell it back and you like have driven a couple miles in it, you're not going to get your money back. Either it's going to be the same or it's going to be way lower depending on how long you've had the car. So why would you want to make an investment in a new car? And then you think about the guys who probably want to make $30,000 income, but then buy a $40,000 car that is living way above your means, and you are going to debt. You are essentially paying for something that you cannot afford. Why would you do that? It's essentially idiotic, and you should not do that. If you make that type of decision, you are setting yourself up for, well, financial burdens and stuff like that. And that is not something that you want in the future. Number 2, make sure you differentiate from needs and wants. Needs are essentially essentials such as food, drink, and, well, maybe other stuff and like in betweens, etc. And then wants are essentially like entertainment stuff or like whatever. If you have cable, Netflix would be a want. But if you don't have cable, Netflix would be maybe a need because you want at least some form of like entertainment. But then again, it's not like you need to survive in a certain sense, so I would not necessarily want to like say that Netflix is a need unless it's your primary form of like entertainment, stuff like that. But then again, you can make the argument that entertainment is not really a need at all, and essentially it is a want. But which I would have to say, yeah, I agree with that. Because so I'll kind of scratch a little bit. I am kind of going off a little bit off script here, so this video is kind of a bit messy a little bit. But entertainment isn't necessarily a want. It's essentially like a need. It's a want. But I would say that with how, and I would say something like the internet, with how close everything has become digitally and stuff like that, is a need because a lot of our lives all revolve around the internet. Heck, I make my living off of the internet and stuff like that. And people get information off the internet. They don't use newspapers anymore. So that's essentially something I would call a need. It's not necessarily meant for entertainment, but especially with how globally connected everybody is. A cell phone, a smartphone, or something like that, you would probably one day at a certain point, like 10 years ago, say that, well, that's a want. But nowadays, with how many people have smartphones nowadays, and how many people want to like, you know, need to be connected to other people and stuff like that, and of course even like social media apps which are free, and like how many people are connected to them and how many people rely on them as jobs. I'd say those are needs as well, because so it just like depends on what you probably need to survive and what you need to like connect with other people with and stuff like that. It's just like where you would have to classify as a need or want. It's like I don't think entertainment is necessarily again a need, but it's definitely something that I think you could make an argument for to put in the want category. But I was just like, I wouldn't like necessarily classify as a need, but it's something that I think people would say is something because you don't want to be bored. It's just like where I'm at, but I just feel like it's not something that you need to survive. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. Next is probably then split your money up into what you want to spend for that month and what you want to save. Essentially, when you grab your paycheck, you want to split it up. Like, let's say you put like your money into like, let's say you make like, I don't know, $160 or like $200, like off your like job. You want to make like, you want to split that first up into like $100 and say, okay, this is money I'm gonna spend for the month, and then the rest of the $100, this is money I'm gonna save. That way, you can at least have money in your back pocket for emergencies or wealth you can save over time. And then the spending money that you're gonna have, you're gonna spend that on like maybe some essentials. Maybe you want to spend on, I don't know, maybe you want to spend on something like that. And if you think that something is something like a want or a want, maybe you could like use that money on something that you actually want. If you're living with your parents, stuff like that, to those people, but it's probably wiser to split your paycheck into stuff that into spend money and saving money, because then you can at least have money in your back pocket if you're not into like one of those like essential categories like bills and stuff like that, which I think kind of needs to be differentiated here a little bit, because I know some of you guys are probably in like late middle school, so like 13, 14, 15, and like maybe beginning like high school and stuff like that. So then I go into the next point, which is invest in yourself. So essentially you're taking that money and investing in yourself. Well, how do I invest in myself? I would say education. So essentially buy books and stuff like that to help improve to say, okay, how can I get better at my job? Or maybe like take classes and stuff like that. You find many ways to try to invest in yourself. Maybe take classes online to like maybe get your degree and stuff like that. To those of you who are probably who are in college right now, or like maybe like are some of the adults in this channel, you want to like go for graduate degrees. Maybe you can use that to invest in yourself. Just find different ways to invest in yourself and try to at least educate yourself on what you want to do in life, and some other stuff in between. Like, I don't know, you can make yourself into like a better person, stuff like that. But I feel like you want to primarily invest into something that can improve yourself on your occupation. But then again, maybe learning how to be a decent human being is probably essential. You know what I'm saying? Next point is find ways to make passive income. What is passive income? I would define as essentially income outside of your primary job. Your primary income, or like income that is essentially your primary job. Passive income is essentially different types of income that is coming in so you can make more money. An example of this would be like, let's say Twitch. So if I make a Twitch account, that's essentially another form of like passive income, where I can essentially like make more money, maybe pay the bills, and maybe again make more money. There's also like stuff like merch, Patreon, channel memberships. Those are forms of passive income, which can also revolve around my primary job, which is again YouTube. Then we go, and for like the real world and stuff like that, you can probably like write books. I mean, no one said you had to be a good writer you have to be a great writer to write a book. Although I would say, I had to be a great writer to make a great book. You know what I'm saying? So you could like maybe make books. You could probably like, I don't know, sell something, or like, I don't know, invest in stocks. That's another great way to make passive income. Maybe this challenge is a little bit too intimidating for you, but then again, you got Robinhood sites that are like allowing you to like be able to invest in other stocks and help make the process a little bit easier for you. So I would suggest, I don't think it's as daunting, you know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, that's where I would go. Finally, I think those are all the tips I have for you guys in terms of like how to be better financially. I kind of keep seeing some of these people, like, I don't know, get broke by around like, I don't know, and try to like figure out, why am I broke? Why am I doing this? When they kind of do something this kind of stupid and stuff like that. Or they just have like general questions about how to be good at managing money and stuff like that. And they don't really have like a lot of people like they can like tell that to, or like there are channels for that. But then again, maybe you don't watch those and you're not aware of them. So I guess it's up to me to at least like give you guys some solid financial advice, so you're better set up for the future, I guess. Because I feel like even if you are maybe in high school and stuff like that, this advice is kind of valuable in a way, because if you don't understand how to manage money, it can kind of screw you over later in life. And like, maybe I can like teach you to like not make some of these like negative investments such as like OnlyFans and stuff like that, because well OnlyFans, you know, like get the stuff that is up there for free and stuff like that, and then there's also like other stuff in between. So yeah, I would say that that's where I'm at in terms of like making this video and stuff like that. So I guess that's about it, the end of the video. Thank you all for watching this. I hope you maybe like the series in general, like Advice to Stage, or maybe I could put it on a second channel in the future. I don't know. Could be pretty cool. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Dang it, burp. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and share the video. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and of course join the Discord server. Follow my watch me tab like a hawk. This has been your boy, the Stage, signing out. Peace, YEEHAW, bye bye.